This video is created for informational and educational purposes only. I am not a certified public accountant, CPA, and I do not represent any official accounting or certification authority. The information shared in this video is based on research, publicly available sources, and general knowledge to provide an overview of the CPA career path in the United States. This content should not be considered professional, financial, or legal advice. For official requirements, certification details, and career decisions, please consult the relevant state boards and authorized institutions. I will never forget the feeling of sitting in my car, staring at my phone, with my heart pounding in my chest. The score for my first CPA exam section had just been released. I clicked the link, my hands were shaking, and I saw the number 74. 74. I had failed. By one single point. In that moment, I felt like a complete fraud. All those years of college, all the late-night study sessions, all the money spent. For what? To fail by the slimmest margin possible? It was crushing. I seriously considered quitting right then and there. I thought maybe I'm just not cut out for this. Maybe everyone who said this exam was a monster was right. But that 74, that single point separating me from a pass, taught me the most important lesson of this entire journey. The CPA designation isn't given to the smartest person in the room. It's earned by the most persistent. It's a test of will as much as a test of knowledge. And that failure, that gut-wrenching moment in my car, became the fuel that propelled me to pass not just that section, but all 4 sections, and ultimately unlock a career I had only dreamed of. And let's be brutally honest about what that career looks like. The average salary for a CPA in the United States is well into the 6 figures. But that's just the average. With a CPA, you're not just an accountant. You are a trusted advisor. You have a level of authority, respect, and job security that is nearly unmatched in the business world. It's the key that unlocks doors to roles like controller, CFO, partner at a firm, or even starting your own successful practice. It is, without a doubt, the gold standard in the accounting profession. So why do so many people fail? Why does this exam have a reputation for being one of the hardest professional tests in the world? It's not because the material is impossible to learn. It's because no one gives you the full roadmap. Your college professors teach you accounting, but they don't teach you how to pass the CPA exam. The review courses give you the material, but they don't give you the strategy, the mindset, and the step-by-step guidance for the entire journey. It's like they give you all the parts to build a car, but no instruction manual. You're left to figure it out on your own, and that's where people get lost. They get overwhelmed, they burn out, and they give up, sometimes just 1 point away from success. That ends today. Right here, right now. This isn't just another video with a few study tips. This is the start of a complete, 10-part masterclass on how to become a certified public accountant in the USA. This is the instruction manual I wish I had. We are going to deconstruct this entire process piece by piece. From the overwhelming beginning to the triumphant end. We will leave no stone unturned. Over this series, we're going to give you the complete blueprint. We'll start by helping you answer the most fundamental question. Is the CPA right for you? And what's the rock-solid mindset you need to even begin? We'll dive deep into the 3 E's of licensure, education, examination, and experience. We'll demystify the confusing web of state requirements and show you how to pick the right state to get licensed in. A decision that can save you literally hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars. I'll show you exactly how to create a study plan that actually works for a busy human being, not a robot. A plan that prevents burnout and keeps you on track, even when life gets in the way. We will dissect the exam itself, all 4 sections. I'll share the strategies I use to understand, retain, and apply massive amounts of information. We'll talk about what to expect on exam day. From the moment you walk into the testing center to the moment you click submit. And we won't stop there. Once you pass, we'll cover the experience requirement, how to get it, how to document it, and how to get it signed off. And finally, we'll talk about what to do the day you get that license. How to update your resume, how to leverage your new credential on LinkedIn, and how to negotiate a massive salary increase or land a promotion, turning all that hard work into tangible, life-changing results. This is the A to Z guide, the definitive path. My goal for you is simple. By the end of this series, you will not have a single question left about what you need to do to earn those 3 letters after your name. You will have a clear, actionable plan. The fog of confusion and overwhelm will be gone, replaced by clarity and confidence. Because let's face it, the CPA is more than just a certificate to hang on the wall. It's a symbol of trust. It tells the world that you have a mastery of the language of business. It signals that you are disciplined, ethical, and an expert in your field. In an unstable economy, a CPA license is a fortress of career security. While others are worried about layoffs, CPAs are in constant demand. Companies, governments, and individuals will always need skilled financial professionals to help them navigate an increasingly complex world. This isn't just about getting a better job. It's about building a better, more secure, and more prosperous life for yourself and your family. But to get there, you have to start at the beginning. And the beginning isn't opening a textbook. The beginning is a decision. It's a commitment you make to yourself. It's about understanding the deep-seated why that will pull you through the tough days. Because there will be tough days. There will be days you want to quit. There will be social events you have to miss. There will be moments of doubt where you question if it's all worth it. And if your why isn't strong enough, if your foundation isn't solid, you will quit. Just like thousands of others do every single year. So the very first step on this path is not about debits and credits. It's about building that foundation. It's about forging the mindset of a future CPA. It's about understanding the true scope of the commitment you're about to make and deciding with full conviction that you are the type of person who finishes what they start. You are the type of person who can do this, because you can. You just need the right map. And that's exactly what we're going to build together starting right now. Let's lay the first brick. That first brick isn't a textbook. It's not a flashcard. It's not even registering for the exam. The first, most critical brick you must lay is understanding the battlefield. Because the CPA journey is littered with the ghosts of brilliant, hardworking people who failed. Not because they weren't smart enough. Not because they didn't study enough. But because they ran headfirst into a brick wall they never saw coming. They treated the CPA path like a single straight road when in reality it's a complex network of 55 different highways, and if you get on the wrong one, you'll end up 1,000 miles from your destination with an empty tank of gas. Let me tell you about a friend of mine. Let's call him Alex. Alex was a machine. He graduated with his accounting degree, 120 credit hours, and a 3.8 GPA. He spent the next year of his life in a caffeine-fueled haze, grinding through a review course. He sacrificed weekends, holidays, and his social life. And he did it. He passed all 4 sections of the CPA exam on his first try. An incredible feat. He was ecstatic. He called his parents, he posted on LinkedIn, he went out for the most expensive steak dinner of his life. The next Monday, he submitted his final application for licensure to his state board, picturing that beautiful certificate hanging on his wall. A month later, he got a letter. Not a certificate. A thin, cold envelope. Application denied. His heart sank. He read the jargon-filled lines, and the horrifying reality sunk in. While he had the 120 credits to sit for the exam in his state, he needed 150 to get licensed. He knew that part. But what he didn't know, what he'd missed in the fine print, was that 30 of his credits had to be in specific upper-level accounting courses. His degree program had only given him 24. And that business law class he took? It didn't count as a business credit, because it was offered through the political science department. Technicality. A tiny bureaucratic detail that just invalidated a year of his life. Alex had passed the mountain, but he was denied entry to the kingdom because he had the wrong key. He had to go back to school, spend thousands more dollars, and wait another 6 months, all while his exam scores were ticking towards their expiration date. Alex's story is terrifyingly common, and it's the reason we are starting here. Before you memorize a single accounting rule, you must become an expert in the rules of the game itself. The entire CPA licensure process in the United States stands on 3 massive pillars. Think of them as the 3 great walls of the fortress you're building for your career. They are education, the exam, and experience. Everyone knows these 3 words. But what most people don't understand is that the order matters, the details matter, and most importantly, the governing body that dictates those details is not some national, federal entity. It is your specific state board of accountancy. There is no US CPA license. You get a license from Texas, or California, or New York, or any of the 55 jurisdictions. And while they have a lot in common, they are all slightly different. They are the client. They are the gatekeeper. And their rules are the only ones that matter. Your number 1 job starting today is to go to Google, type in the name of your state plus board of accountancy, find their official government website and bookmark it. That website is your Bible. It is the source of truth that overrides anything your friend tells you, your professor tells you, or even what I tell you. Now let's talk about that first pillar, the one that tripped up Alex: education. This is your foundation. If it has a single crack, the entire structure you build on top of it will eventually collapse. The magic number everyone hears is 150. The 150-hour rule. Back in the day, a standard 4-year bachelor's degree, which is 120 credit hours, was enough. But the profession decided it needed more rigor, more depth. So, they created the 150-hour requirement to become licensed. But here is the critical billion-dollar secret. It is almost never any 150 hours. The state boards are incredibly specific about the composition of those hours. This is where people get destroyed. Most states follow a general model, but you must verify your own. Typically, it looks something like this. A total of 150 semester hours, which must include a bachelor's degree. Within those 150 hours, you'll need a certain number of accounting credits, often around 30 semester hours. And not just intro to accounting. They'll demand they be upper division courses, specifying subjects like auditing, financial accounting and reporting, taxation, and managerial accounting. Then they'll require another chunk of general business credits, maybe 24 hours in subjects like finance, business law, economics, and management. So, where do you get these extra 30 hours on top of your 120-hour bachelor's degree? This is one of the first major strategic decisions you have to make. Some people cram it into their undergrad. They'll come in with AP credits, take heavy course loads every semester, take summer and winter classes, and manage to graduate in 4 years with 150 hours in a double major or a major and a minor. It's the cheapest route, but it's an absolute grind. The more common path is a master's degree. A Master of Accountancy, or MACC, is the most direct route. These programs are specifically designed to give you those extra 30 credits, and all the specific upper-level courses state boards are looking for. They also provide incredible networking opportunities and specialized knowledge. An MBA with a concentration in accounting is another option. Some people even just go back to a local community college or an online university to pick up the specific classes they're missing, like an ethics course or an advanced auditing class their undergrad didn't offer. There is no one best way, only the best way for your budget, your timeline, and your career goals. But here's another layer of complexity, another trap just like the one Alex fell into. It's the difference between the requirements to sit for the exam and the requirements to get licensed. This is, without a doubt, the single most confusing part of the entire educational journey. Many states will allow you to apply to take the CPA exam once you have your 120-hour bachelor's degree, even though they won't give you the license until you hit 150. They let you into the stadium, but they won't give you the trophy. This creates a massive strategic dilemma. Do you A, finish all 150 hours, get all your specific coursework done, and then start studying for the exam? Or do you B, graduate with 120 hours, immediately start studying and passing the exam sections, all while you are simultaneously taking classes for your final 30 credits? Option A is the safe, clean route. You get all the education done, check that box completely, and then you can focus 100% of your energy on the 4 parts of the exam. There's no juggling school and studying. But it takes longer to get to the exam, and the information from your undergrad classes might be less fresh in your mind. Option B is the faster, more aggressive route. You can pass the exam much closer to when you graduate. Many people study for and pass the exam while they're in their master's program. The danger here is that you are fighting a war on 2 fronts. You're studying for graduate-level classes while also studying for the most difficult professional exam of your life. It's a recipe for burnout. More importantly, you have a ticking clock. Once you pass your first section of the CPA exam, you have a limited time, usually 18 to 30 months depending on the state, to pass the other 3. If you get delayed in finishing your educational requirements and that clock runs out, your past exam section expires. It's gone forever. You have to take it again. This is not a decision to be taken lightly. You need to look at your state's rules, look at your own life, your finances, your discipline, and decide which path gives you the highest probability of success. So what is your mission right now? It's simple. Forget the exam sections. Forget the study materials. Your only task is research. Go to your State Board of Accountancy website. Find the PDF, the web page, the statute, whatever it is, that lists the exact educational requirements for licensure. Print it out. Read it once. Then read it again. Highlight every single specific course requirement. Count your existing credits. See where the gaps are. Make a spreadsheet. This document is your blueprint. Without it, you're just guessing. You're Alex walking into a trap he never saw. You need to know with 100% certainty the exact number of accounting hours, business hours, and any special requirements like the 1-hour ethics course that many states now mandate. If you are even slightly unsure if a course you took qualifies, you need to call or email your state board and ask for clarification. Do not assume. Assumption is the enemy of success on this journey. You have now laid the foundation. You have the blueprint for the first great wall of your fortress. You understand that your state board is the ultimate authority, and that the 150 hours are a complex mosaic, not just an empty bucket to be filled. Getting this part right now before you spend a single dollar on a review course will save you the potential agony of wasted time, wasted money, and a broken heart. You are building this career to last a lifetime, so make sure the foundation is perfect. But a perfect foundation is useless if you don't know how to actually start building the structure. You have the educational blueprint, but how do you translate that into an application? How do you get official permission to even sign up for the exam? This next step is a bureaucratic maze all its own, involving transcript evaluations, application fees, and a powerful organization called NASBA. And navigating it efficiently is the key to getting on the field and starting the game. In the next part, we will forge the key to that gate. We'll map out the entire application and approval process, a critical path that, if you get it wrong, can leave you waiting on the sidelines for months while your motivation bleeds away. The clock is always ticking. Let's make sure it's working for you, not against you. This journey begins with a choice. Not which section to study for first, not which review course to buy, but a decision so fundamental it will dictate the very rules of the game you're about to play. I'm talking about choosing your jurisdiction, your state. This is the single most important decision you will make before you even open a textbook, and it's the one where most aspiring CPAs make their first critical mistake. You see, the CPA license isn't a national license. It's issued by one of 55 different state and territory boards of accountancy. And here's the kicker. Every single one of them has slightly different rules. Think of it like this. You're about to enter a massive, complex tournament. Each of the 55 arenas has its own unique set of entry requirements. Choosing your arena, your state, is step one. Think you can just apply in the state you live in? Maybe. But what if the state next door has requirements that fit your educational background perfectly, allowing you to sit for the exam 6 months sooner? What if you plan to move in 2 years? The state you choose now will be your home base for this entire process. You need to choose wisely. So how do you choose? You need to become a detective. Your first stop is the website of the National Association of State Boards of Accountancy, or NASBA. This is your command center. But you can't stop there. You must go directly to the source, the official website for the Board of Accountancy in the state, or states, you are considering. Don't rely on forums, on what a friend told you, or even on a video like this one for the final word. Rules change. You must read the primary source document yourself. You're looking for the three-legged stool of requirements: education, experience, and ethics. For now, we are laser-focused on the requirements to SIT for the exam, which can be different from the requirements for final licensure. First, education. This is the big one. The magic number you always hear is 150 semester hours. But the devil is in the details. Many states will let you SIT for the exam once you've hit 120 hours, as long as you have a plan to get to 150 for licensure. But what kind of hours? It's not just 150 hours of basket weaving. We're talking about specific accounting and business courses. One state might require 24 semester hours of upper-level accounting subjects. Another might demand 30, and specify that they must include courses in auditing, financial accounting, tax, and cost accounting. One state might accept a business law class as a business course, another might not. You have to match your college transcripts, course by course, against their specific checklist. This is non-negotiable. Next, you need to understand if you're dealing with a one-tier or a two-tier state. A one-tier state is straightforward. You meet all the requirements, the full 150 hours, the experience, the ethics, and boom, you get your certificate and your license to practice at the same time. You're a CPA. A two-tier state is different. In these states, you might receive a CPA certificate after passing the exams and meeting the educational requirements, but you can't actually call yourself a CPA or practice as one until you also meet the experience requirement and get your permit to practice. It's a subtle but crucial difference. For most people, a one-tier state is more streamlined. And for my international viewers, this stage is even more critical. You will absolutely need to have your foreign credentials evaluated by a board-approved service. This process takes time and money, and the evaluation must break down your coursework into the specific buckets that the state board demands. Don't even think about applying until you have that evaluation in hand. Once you've done your research and picked your state, it's time to assemble your arsenal. Your primary weapon in this fight is your college transcript. Not just one. Every single one. Did you take a single summer class at a community college 10 years ago? They need it. Did you transfer schools after your freshman year? They need transcripts from both. I knew a candidate whose application was stalled for 3 months. 3 months of lost study time and bleeding motivation, because he forgot to request a transcript for a single 3-credit history class he took online one summer. The board doesn't care if the class was in accounting or ancient civilizations. If you got college credit for it, they need the official record. And it has to be official. This means you don't touch it. You go to your university's registrar and request that they send an official, sealed transcript directly to the state board or its designated processing center, like CPA Examination Services, or CPAES, which is part of NASBA. Many schools now use electronic delivery services, which is even better. The key is that it has to come directly from the institution to the board. If it passes through your hands, it's tainted, it's unofficial, and it's useless. Order them now. Don't wait. This process can take weeks, and it's the #1 cause of application delays. With your state chosen and your transcript sailing through the mail, it's time to launch the attack. The application itself. You'll go to your chosen state board's website or the NASBA portal and create an account. This is your official identity for the entire CPA journey. Use your full legal name, the exact name that appears on your government-issued photo ID, like your driver's license or passport. No nicknames, no shortcuts. If your name is Robert but you go by Bob, you are Robert on this application. If your ID has your middle name, you include your middle name. Why? Because the name on your application must be an exact match to the ID you present at the testing center. If it doesn't match, you will not be allowed to test. You will forfeit your exam fees. Game over. Be meticulous. Double-check your social security number, your date of birth, your address. A single typo can send your application into a bureaucratic black hole for weeks. Then comes the payment. Yes, this part costs money. You'll pay an application fee, which can be anywhere from $50 to over $200, depending on the state. This fee is just for them to look at your paperwork. It's the cost of admission. After that, you'll select the exam sections you intend to sit for, and pay the examination fees. We'll dive deeper into the strategy of which sections to choose and when in a later part, but for now, understand that each section has a hefty price tag. This is the moment it gets real. When you see that credit card charge go through, you are financially and emotionally invested. You have skin in the game. After you've submitted the application, paid the fees, and confirmed your transcripts are on their way, the waiting begins. This is for many the most agonizing part. It can take anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks, sometimes longer, for the board to process everything. They are painstakingly reviewing your application, matching it to your transcripts, and verifying that you have, in fact, met every single one of their stringent educational requirements. During this time, you will be tempted to check your email 100 times a day. You'll wonder if they lost your paperwork. You'll be certain you made a mistake. This is normal. The key is to use this time productively. Don't just sit there. This is your golden window to finalize your study plan, select your review course, and start doing some light, preliminary studying. Get your mind right for the war that's coming. And then one day an email will appear in your inbox. It's the one you've been waiting for. It's your notice to schedule your NTS. This document is your golden ticket. It is the official authorization from your Board of Accountancy that says, yes, you are worthy. You have met the requirements. You are now cleared to schedule your exam. Holding that NTS is a moment of pure triumph. It's the first major boss you've defeated on this journey. But it's also something else. It's a ticking clock. Because on that NTS is an expiration date, typically 6 months from the date it was issued. The clock that was ticking softly in the background is now a full-blown countdown timer strapped to your chest. You now have a finite window to prepare for, schedule, and pass the exam sections you paid for. If you don't, that NTS expires and all the money you paid for those sections vanishes. Poof, gone forever. That piece of paper transforms you from an aspiring candidate into an active one, thrusting you directly onto the battlefield. Now the question is, how do you manage that clock? How do you schedule your exams? And what happens inside that mysterious high-security fortress known as the Parametric Testing Center? That's where we're going next. The first thing you need to understand about scheduling your CPA exam is that it's a strategic game of chess, not a sprint. The moment you pass your very first exam section, a clock starts ticking. For most jurisdictions, this is an 18-month rolling window, though with the new CPA evolution model, some states are moving to a more generous 30-month window. But let's be clear, this clock is your new boss. It's relentless. It doesn't care if you have a busy season at work, a family wedding, or the flu. If you don't pass all 4 sections within that window, the first section you passed expires. It vanishes. Poof. And you have to take it all over again. This is why the order you take the exams in is one of the most hotly debated topics in the CPA community. There are a few schools of thought. The first is what I call the eat the frog strategy. You tackle the biggest, hardest, most intimidating section first, financial accounting and reporting, or FAR. The logic is simple. If you can conquer the beast, the rest will feel manageable. It has the most material, and passing it gives you an incredible psychological boost. Plus, you're starting that 18 or 30-month clock with the biggest hurdle already behind you. The second strategy is the momentum builder. You start with the section you feel most confident about. Maybe it's auditing and attestation, or taxation and regulation. You get a quick win, build your confidence, and develop a study rhythm. This is a great approach if you're worried about burnout or just want to ease into the process. Then there's the synergy approach. You pair exams with overlapping content. For example, there's a good amount of crossover between what you study for FAR and what you need to know for AUD. By studying for them back-to-back, you're essentially reinforcing knowledge for 2 exams at once, making your study time more efficient. There is no single right answer. The best strategy is the one that fits your life, your work schedule, and your personal psychology. But you must have a strategy. Once you decide, you'll apply for your Notice to Schedule or NTS. Think of your NTS as a concert ticket for the most intense, 4-hour rock show of your academic life. It's your official authorization to sit for the exam. But here's the catch. This ticket has an expiration date, usually about 6 months. If you don't schedule and take your exam within that time frame, your NTS expires, and you forfeit the hundreds of dollars you paid for it. No refunds, no exceptions. This adds another layer of pressure. You're not just fighting the 18-month clock, you're fighting the 6-month NTS clock. So you have your NTS in hand. Now it's time to book your appointment at a prometric testing center. And this is where the reality of the situation truly sets in. These are not your casual college testing centers. Prometric centers are high-security facilities, and they treat the CPA exam with the seriousness of a state secret. Plan to arrive at least 30 minutes early. Lateness is not an option. They will turn you away, and you will lose your exam fee. The check-in process is meticulous and can feel a little intimidating the first time. You'll present your NTS in 2 forms of valid unexpired ID. The names on both IDs must match your NTS exactly. No nicknames. No exceptions. Then the security screening begins. You'll be asked to empty everything from your pockets. Everything. You'll place your wallet, keys, phone, and even a single stick of gum into a small locker. You are not allowed to bring anything into the testing room with you. No watch, no water bottle, no lucky pen. Nothing. They will give you a key for your locker, which you'll keep with you. Next, a proctor will scan you with a metal detector wand like you're going through airport security. They'll ask you to pull up your sleeves to show you have nothing written on your arms. They'll ask you to turn your pockets inside out, even if you've already emptied them. If you wear glasses, they will inspect them. This isn't to make you uncomfortable. It's to protect the integrity and value of the credential you are working so hard to earn. Finally, the biometric check-in. They will take a digital photograph of you and scan your fingerprint. This is how they verify it's you and only you taking the exam. You will rescan your fingerprint every single time you enter or leave the testing room, even for a short break. Once you've cleared security, you're escorted into the testing room itself. The atmosphere is sterile, silent, and cold. It's just rows of simple cubicles, each with a computer, a chair, and high walls for privacy. The proctors will provide you with a pair of noise-canceling headphones, which I highly recommend you use. They will also give you 2 laminated sheets of paper and a pair of fine-tip markers for your calculations. This is your scratch paper. If you fill it up, you can raise your hand, and they will swap it for a fresh set, but you can't have more than 2 sheets at a time. You sit down, the proctor logs you in, and there it is. The exam is on the screen in front of you. For hours. The clock is ticking. Now let's talk about managing the exam itself. It's broken down into sections called testlets. These are small bundles of questions, a mix of multiple choice questions, or MCQs, and more complex task-based simulations, or TBS. Here is the most critical thing you need to know. Once you complete and submit a testlet, you cannot go back. I repeat, you cannot go back. That door slams shut behind you, forever. This means you have to manage your time within each testlet perfectly. You can't borrow time from a later section to finish an earlier one. Your greatest enemy in that room isn't the difficulty of the material. It's the clock. You must have a pacing strategy. A good rule of thumb is to allocate about 1.5 minutes per multiple choice question. If a question is stumping you, don't get bogged down. Don't let one tricky question sabotage your entire exam. The software has a feature to flag questions for review. Make your best educated guess, flag it, and move on. You can circle back to your flagged questions at the end of the testlet, time permitting. Perfection is the enemy of completion here. Your goal is to answer every single question, even if it means making an educated guess on the last few. An unanswered question is a guaranteed 0. A guessed answer gives you at least a chance. The exam is designed to be a marathon. About halfway through, there is a standardized 15-minute break. This break is optional, but you absolutely must take it. More importantly, this specific break does not count against your 4-hour exam time. It is a free pause. Use it. To get up, you'll raise your hand. Proctor will escort you out. You'll have to sign out and scan your fingerprint. Go to the restroom. Splash some water on your face. Stretch your legs. Close your eyes and breathe. Don't think about the exam. Just reset your brain. When you're ready to go back in, you'll have to go through the entire security check again. Fingerprint scan, pocket check, metal detector wand, before being escorted back to your seat. It's a process, but that 15-minute mental reset can be the difference between passing and failing. Then you sit back down, take a deep breath, and dive into the second half of the exam. You manage your time, you trust your preparation, and you push through until the very last second. When you finally click that submit button for the last time, a wave of exhaustion and relief will wash over you unlike anything you've ever felt. You've survived the fortress. You've battled the clock. You walk out of that testing center, blinking in the sunlight, feeling that strange mix of adrenaline and emptiness. But the war is far from over, because now we need to talk about the beast itself. The single exam section that strikes more fear into the hearts of candidates than any other. We're talking about financial accounting and reporting, FAR. And in the next part, I'm going to show you exactly how to tame it. The first rule of taming any beast is to understand it. You have to know its strengths, its weaknesses, and most importantly, its size. And let's be clear. FAR is a beast because of its size. It's not necessarily that any single concept is impossibly complex. It's that there are hundreds of them. Government accounting, nonprofit, consolidations, leases, bonds, pensions, statement of cash flows. The list just goes on and on. It feels like you're being asked to drink from a fire hose. This is what's known as the mile-wide, inch-deep problem. The exam covers a vast territory of accounting topics, but it can only test a small fraction of them. The trap so many candidates fall into is trying to become a world-class expert on every single topic. They spend a week trying to master every nuance of partnership accounting, only to get 0 questions on it come exam day. That is a losing strategy. Your goal is not to become the world's foremost authority on governmental fund accounting. Your goal is to pass a 4-hour multiple choice and simulation-based exam. That's it. We have to be strategic. So how do we do it? We don't try to eat the elephant in one bite. We build a skyscraper one floor at a time. Think of it this way. The foundation of your skyscraper is the fundamental accounting equation. Assets equal liabilities plus equity. Everything in FAR, and I mean everything, comes back to this. Every journal entry, every transaction, every financial statement is just a story about how this equation changed. If you ever feel lost in the weeds of a complex topic, bring it back to the basics. How is this affecting the balance sheet? How is it impacting the income statement? What is the story this transaction is telling? With that foundation laid, let's build the first few floors. This is your initial pass through the material. Whether you're using Becker, Roger, Wiley, or Gleam, your job in this phase is not to memorize. I repeat, your job is not to memorize. It is to understand. You're learning a new language. You're watching the lectures, you're reading the text, and you're getting a high-level overview of the landscape. You're building the framework of the skyscraper. It's okay if it feels shaky. It's okay if you finish a chapter on leases and feel like you only retained about 30% of it. That's normal. That's expected. The biggest mistake you can make is spending 2 weeks on one chapter trying to get it perfect before moving on. You will burn out and you will lose momentum. Keep moving. Trust the process. Once you've made it through all the material one time, the real work begins. Phase 2, the grind. This is where you live and breathe multiple choice questions, or MCQs. This is the most important part of your study plan. This is where you go from a C student to an A student. Your goal should be to do thousands of MCQs. Not hundreds, thousands. And here's the secret sauce. It's not about just getting the questions right. It's about understanding why the right answer is right, and just as critically, why the wrong answers are wrong. Every time you do a practice question, you must review the explanation, even if you got it right. Maybe you got it right for the wrong reason. Maybe you just guessed. The review process is where the learning happens. I want you to keep a running error log, in a notebook or a spreadsheet. Every time you get a question wrong, or even if you get it right but felt unsure, write down the core concept you were weak on. Not the whole question, just the concept. Deferred tax liabilities, bond amortization, variable interest entities. Over a few weeks, this log will become your personal roadmap. It will show you exactly where the cracks are in your foundation. It will tell you what you need to go back and review. Instead of aimlessly rereading entire chapters, you can perform surgical strikes on your specific weaknesses. This is how you study smart, not just hard. Now let's talk about the other half of the exam. The task-based simulations, or TBS. These are the mini case studies where you're given a bunch of documents and asked to fill in a spreadsheet, write a memo, or perform a calculation. They terrify people, but they shouldn't, because a simulation is nothing more than a series of multiple choice questions strung together. Think about a consolidation problem. It might ask you to calculate goodwill, the non-controlling interest, and the consolidated net income. Each of those calculations is just a concept that could have been its own MCQ. The only difference is the format. The key to mastering sims is to practice them under exam-like conditions. Don't use the help button. Don't look at the answer until you've given it your absolute best shot. You need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You need to train your brain to sift through the noise of the exhibits, find the relevant information, and apply the concepts you learned from the MCQs. I recommend dedicating the final 3 to 4 weeks of your study plan almost exclusively to review and practice exams. This is where you put it all together. You should take at least 3 full-length, 4-hour mock exams. This does 2 things. First, it builds your mental stamina. The CPA exam is a marathon, not a sprint. You need to know what it feels like to be in hour 3 brain-fried and still have to tackle a complex governmental accounting simulation. Second, it gives you the best possible data on your remaining weak areas. Your mock exam score report is gold. It's the final blueprint before construction is complete. Spend the days between mock exams hammering the weak areas it identifies. Throughout this entire process, there are a few key areas that you absolutely must know cold. These are the load-bearing walls of your skyscraper. They show up time and time again, both in MCQs and simulations. What are they? First, the statement of cash flows. You need to be able to prepare one inside and out, using both the direct and indirect method. Know what is an operating, investing, and financing activity in your sleep. Second, consolidations. Understand the acquisition method, how to eliminate intercompany transactions, and how to calculate goodwill and non-controlling interest. This is a classic simulation topic. Third, leases. For both the lessee and the lessor. Understand the difference between an operating lease and a finance lease and the journal entries that go with them. Fourth, bonds. Know how to calculate the issue price and how to amortize premiums and discounts using the effective interest method. And finally, governmental and nonprofit accounting. I know, nobody likes it. It feels like learning accounting all over again in a different language. But it makes up a significant portion of the exam. You cannot ignore it. You don't need to be an expert, but you need to know the fundamentals of the different fund types and the basis of accounting for each. Master these core areas and you'll have a massive advantage. The final piece of the puzzle isn't about accounting at all. It's about your mindset. FAR is designed to break you. It will make you feel stupid. It will make you question if you have what it takes. Every single person who has passed this exam has felt that way. The difference between those who pass and those who quit is not intelligence. It's perseverance. It's the discipline to sit down and study on a Friday night when your friends are going out. It's the resilience to get a 55 on a mock exam, feel that punch in the gut, and then spend the next 6 hours reviewing every single wrong answer. You have to trust the process. Build your foundation, do thousands of questions, review your mistakes, practice your simulations, and build your mental stamina. You are not just learning financial accounting and reporting. You are forging the discipline and resilience that will define your entire career as a CPA. You are taming the beast not by overpowering it, but by outsmarting it and outlasting it. Once you've conquered far, you've proven you can handle the most comprehensive and challenging section of the exam. You've built the skyscraper, but a building isn't complete just because the structure is up. You have to make sure it was built correctly. You have to inspect the work, verify the integrity of every component, and provide assurance that it's safe and sound. That process of verification, of professional skepticism and evidence gathering, is a completely different skill set. It's the world of the auditor. And in the next part, we're going to dive headfirst into auditing and attestation. OD. It's the section of the CPA exam that strikes a different kind of fear into candidates. It's not about complex calculations like FAR or the intricate rules of BEC. AUD is about judgment. It's about a mindset. It's about learning to see the world not as it's presented, but as it truly is, a world where you must question everything. Welcome to the world of the financial detective. Think about it. Every major financial scandal from Enron to WorldCom had one thing in common. The numbers on the page looked fantastic. Profits were soaring, debt was hidden. Everything seemed perfect. But it was a lie. And the only thing standing between that lie and the life savings of millions of investors was the auditor. The person whose job it is to walk into a company and say, "Prove it." That's the essence of the auditing and attestation exam. It's a 4-hour deep dive into the art and science of skepticism. It's not about finding fraud, though that can happen. It's about providing trust. It's about being the person who can look at a company's financial statements and issue an opinion that the entire global market relies upon to make decisions. When a grandmother in Iowa decides to buy a stock for her retirement fund, she's not personally flying out to the company's headquarters to count their inventory. She's trusting the auditor's report. That's the weight of responsibility you're being tested on. The AUD exam is broken down into 4 main areas, but don't think of them as separate chapters in a textbook. Think of them as the 4 stages of an investigation. First comes the foundation: ethics, professional responsibilities, and general principles. This is your detective's code of honor. Before you can investigate anyone else, you have to prove that you are beyond reproach. The core concept here is independence. You can't be the auditor of a company if your spouse is the CEO. You can't own a significant amount of their stock. You have to be an impartial, objective outsider. Any conflict of interest, real or perceived, shatters the trust the public places in you. This section also introduces you to the single most important concept in all of auditing: professional skepticism. This is a mindset of questioning. It doesn't mean you assume everyone is a liar, but it does mean you don't assume anyone is telling the truth without evidence. You are constantly asking, what could go wrong here? You're looking for the pressure points, the incentives, the opportunities for misstatement, and you'll learn about the level of certainty you're actually providing. This is key. An auditor provides reasonable assurance, not absolute assurance. What's the difference? Absolute assurance means you are 100% certain, with no possibility of error. That's impossible. To get absolute assurance, you'd have to check every single transaction a company made all year. For a company like Amazon, that's billions of transactions. It's not feasible. Reasonable assurance is a high but not absolute level of assurance. It means you've gathered sufficient, appropriate evidence to conclude that the financial statements are free from material misstatement. That word, material, is everything. An error of $5 in a multi-billion-dollar company's revenue is not material. An error of $50 million most certainly is. AUD is about learning where to draw that line. Once you've established your ethical foundation, you move to stage 2 of the investigation: assessing risk and developing a planned response. This is where you case the joint. Before you even look at a single invoice, you have to understand the client. What industry are they in? Is it a booming industry or a declining one? Who are their competitors? What are the internal pressures? Is the CEO's bonus tied to a specific revenue target? That's an incentive to cheat. You're also evaluating their internal controls. Think of internal controls as the company's own security system. Does one person collect the cash, deposit the cash, and record the cash in the books? That's a massive weakness. A good system would require 3 different people for those jobs, creating checks and balances. Your job as the auditor is to assess that security system. Are there gaping holes? Are there areas where someone could easily manipulate the numbers? Based on this risk assessment, you create your audit plan. This is your roadmap for the investigation. If you identify a high-risk area like how they recognize revenue, you're going to plan to spend a lot more time and resources testing that area. If another area like petty cash is incredibly low risk, you might just do a quick check. You don't treat everything the same. You focus your firepower where the risk of a material misstatement is highest. This leads directly to stage 3, the heart of the audit, performing further procedures and obtaining evidence. This is the boots-on-the-ground detective work. This is where you gather the clues. An audit evidence comes in many forms. You'll perform what are called tests of controls. You'll see if the company's security system is actually working as designed. If their policy says a manager must approve all purchases over $5,000, you'll pull a sample of those purchases and look for the manager's signature. Then you perform substantive procedures. This is where you test the actual numbers on the financial statements. You're looking for cold, hard proof. You'll use a variety of techniques. You'll do physical observation like going to a warehouse on December 31st to watch the company count its inventory. You'll send confirmations, which are letters sent directly to third parties, like asking a bank to confirm how much cash the company really has in its account, or asking a customer to confirm how much they really owe the company. You'll perform analytical procedures, looking for strange patterns. Did sales suddenly spike by 300% in the last week of the year? That's a red flag that requires more investigation. You'll be vouching and tracing, following the trail of a transaction from the financial statements back to the source document, and from the source document forward to the financial statements, ensuring nothing was fabricated or omitted. This is the grind of the audit. It's meticulous, detailed work, and every single piece of evidence you gather must be documented in your work papers. The rule is, if it wasn't documented, it wasn't done. Your work papers are the case file that proves you did your job properly. Finally, after weeks or months of investigation, you reach stage 4, forming conclusions and reporting. You've gathered all your evidence. You've analyzed all the clues. Now you have to render your verdict. This culminates in the single most important document you will produce, the audit report. This isn't just a pass/fail grade. There are different types of opinions you can issue. The best and most common is the unqualified opinion, often called a clean opinion. This is you, the auditor, telling the world that in your professional opinion, the company's financial statements are presented fairly, in all material respects. It's a green light for investors and creditors. But what if you find a problem? If the problem is material, but it doesn't affect the rest of the financial statements, you might issue a qualified opinion. It's like saying, everything looks good, except for this one thing. If the problems are so significant and pervasive that the financial statements as a whole are misleading, you issue the dreaded adverse opinion. This is a massive red flag. You're essentially telling the world, do not trust these numbers. And sometimes you can't even get enough evidence to form an opinion at all. Maybe the company's records were destroyed in a fire, or management refuses to provide you with critical information. In that case, you issue a disclaimer of opinion, which basically says, we were hired to do a job, but we couldn't get the information we needed, so we can't give you any assurance at all. Understanding which report to issue, and the precise wording that goes into it, is a massive part of the AUD exam. Because your words have power. They can move markets, influence investment decisions, and shape the future of a company. So as you study for AUD, remember you're not just memorizing procedures. You're learning a new way to think. You're training your mind to be inquisitive, to be skeptical, to connect the dots. You're learning to be the person who can look at a sea of data and find the one number that just doesn't add up. You're the guardian of financial integrity. You've done the work, you've followed the ethical code, and you've issued your report. But what happens when things still go wrong? What happens when, despite your clean opinion, a massive fraud is uncovered a year later? What are the legal ramifications for you, the CPA? What happens when the IRS comes knocking, not just for the company, but to scrutinize your work and your client's tax position? That's not just an ethical problem anymore. It's a legal one, and it's governed by a whole different universe of rules, a universe of law and regulation that every CPA must master. That's the world of reg. Your work and your client's tax position? That's not just an ethical problem anymore. It's a legal one, and it's governed by a whole different universe of rules, a universe of law and regulation that every CPA must master. That's the world of reg. Regulation. The name itself sounds intimidating, like a 1,000-page legal document written in a language nobody understands. And in some ways it is. But Reg is not just a list of rules you have to memorize. It's the very backbone of a CPA's authority. It's the shield that protects you, your firm, and your client from financial catastrophe and legal ruin. While AUD teaches you how to be a detective, and FAR teaches you the language of business, Reg teaches you the law of the land. It's what separates a bookkeeper from a trusted legal advisor in the world of finance. The Reg exam is a 4-hour journey into two distinct but interconnected worlds. The first, and by far the largest, is the sprawling, ever-changing landscape of federal taxation. The second is the bedrock of business law and professional ethics. To conquer Reg, you have to become a master of both. Let's start with the Titan tax. This isn't just about filling out a 1040 form. This is about understanding the entire United States tax code as a living, breathing entity. It starts with individual taxation, something we all have some familiarity with. But it goes so much deeper. You're not just calculating a salary. You're analyzing capital gains from selling stock, figuring out the tax implications of rental property, determining what is and isn't a deductible business expense for a freelancer, and advising on the tax-advantaged ways to save for retirement and college. You're looking at a person's entire financial life, their home, their investments, their family, their side hustles, and translating it all into the language of the IRS. But individuals are just the beginning. The real complexity, the real test of your mettle, comes with entity taxation. This is where you navigate the alphabet soup of business structures. You have C corporations, the classic corporate giants like Apple or Coca-Cola. They are their own separate legal and taxable entities. They make a profit, they pay corporate income tax. Then, when they distribute those profits to shareholders as dividends, the shareholders pay tax on them again. This is the infamous double taxation. Your job is to understand every nuance of this system. Then you have the world of pass-through entities like S corporations and partnerships. These are fundamentally different. They don't pay income tax themselves. Instead, the profits and losses pass through the business directly to the owner's personal tax returns. An S-corp and a partnership might look similar on the surface, but their operational rules, how you calculate an owner's basis, how distributions are treated, these are worlds apart. A single wrong calculation could cost a small business owner thousands. You need to know these structures inside and out to advise a startup which one to choose, to help a family business transition to the next generation, to ensure a partnership dissolves without creating a massive, unexpected tax bill for everyone involved. You'll also dive into trusts and estates, learning how wealth is transferred and taxed when someone passes away, a profoundly important and sensitive area where your expertise provides immense comfort and value. And woven through all of this is the concept of property transactions. When a company sells a building or a piece of equipment, what happens? You have to calculate the basis of that asset, track its depreciation over the years, and then determine the gain or loss on the sale. Is it a capital gain taxed at a lower rate? Or is it ordinary income? The answer to that question can change a company's tax liability by millions of dollars. Your understanding of these rules is what makes you an invaluable strategic advisor, not just a compliance specialist. Now, if the tax code is the vast, shifting landscape, then the second part of Reg business law is the set of fundamental, unshakable rules of the road. This is where you move beyond the IRS and into the legal framework that underpins all of commerce. You'll study contract law. What makes a contract legally binding? What happens if one party breaks their promise? What are the remedies? Every business transaction, from hiring an employee to merging with another company, is governed by a contract. You need to understand the architecture of these agreements. You'll master the concepts of agency. As a CPA, you are often acting as an agent for your client, with the authority to represent them before the IRS. This grants you immense power, but it also binds you with profound responsibilities. A duty of care, a duty of loyalty. Understanding agency law is understanding the legal foundation of the trust your clients place in you. You'll also cover the laws of debt, suretyship, and bankruptcy. What happens when things go wrong? When a client can't pay their bills, or when a business they work with goes under? You need to understand the legal process, the rights of creditors, and the protections for debtors. This knowledge is critical for advising businesses in distress and helping them navigate the most challenging of times. And of course, you'll touch upon securities regulation, the landmark acts of 1933 and 1934 that were born from the ashes of the Great Depression to ensure transparency and fairness in the stock market. This is about protecting the investing public from fraud, and the CPA is a frontline soldier in that battle. But here's the most important part. At the very heart of Reg, where tax and law converge, is the single most critical topic for your career: professional and ethical responsibilities. This is the moral compass of the profession. This is where you learn the specific, enforceable rules that govern your conduct. You will become intimately familiar with a document called Circular 230, which is the IRS's code of conduct for anyone who practices before it. It dictates what you can and cannot say, what positions you can and cannot take on a tax return, and the penalties for crossing the line. This is where you learn the crucial distinction between tax avoidance and tax evasion. Tax avoidance is the legal art of using the tax code to minimize your client's tax liability. It's finding every legitimate deduction, credit, and strategy available. It's your job. Tax evasion, on the other hand, is the illegal act of willfully hiding income or fabricating deductions. It's a crime, and the line between them can sometimes seem blurry to an aggressive client. Imagine a client comes to you and says, "I want you to be creative. Find me some gray areas." Your answer, your conduct in that moment, is defined by the rules you learn in Reg. You are the gatekeeper. You have a duty to your client, yes, but you have an even higher duty to the integrity of the financial system and to the law. Violating these duties doesn't just mean you lose your license. It can mean massive fines. It can mean prison time. Reg isn't just theory. It's the rulebook that keeps you and your clients safe. So how do you possibly conquer this mountain of information? Unlike FAR, which is conceptual, or AUD, which is procedural, Reg is largely a game of memorization. The rules are the rules. The tax thresholds are what they are. This makes your study strategy different. For Reg, volume is key. You must drill thousands of multiple choice questions. Each question is a mini scenario, a direct application of a specific rule. By doing them over and over, you burn the rules into your memory. The task-based simulations will test your ability to synthesize these rules, often by giving you client documents and asking you to prepare a portion of a tax return or answer a legal question based on the facts. Studying for Reg feels less like solving a puzzle and more like building a legal library in your mind, brick by brick. It's demanding, it's detail-oriented, but it's also incredibly empowering. When you pass Reg, you haven't just passed an exam. You've earned the right to be a true advisor, someone who can confidently navigate the complex intersection of business, finance, and law. You've earned the authority that comes with knowing not just what the numbers are, but what they mean under the full weight of the law. You've become the person people turn to when the stakes are at their absolute highest. But there's one final exam, one last diverse set of skills you need to prove you have what it takes. It's a test of your business acumen, your economic understanding, and your grasp on the very technology that is rapidly changing the world of accounting itself. This is Business Analysis and Reporting, or BAR. And it's not just another section. It's the capstone. It's the final interview. It's the moment the exam stops asking you, "What is the rule?" and starts asking, "What should we do?" This is where you prove you're not just a number cruncher but a strategic advisor, a future CFO, a partner in the business. While the other exams built your technical foundation, BAR tests your ability to stand on that foundation and see the entire business landscape, from the 30,000-foot view right down to the ground floor. Think of it like this. FAR taught you the language of business. AUD taught you how to verify the truth of that language. Reg taught you the laws of the land that business operates in. But BAR is where you become a storyteller. You take all that data, all those rules, all that information, and you weave it into a narrative that a CEO can understand, that a board of directors can act on, and that investors can believe in. It's the discipline that transforms you from a compliance expert into a decision maker. So let's break down this final boss battle. What exactly are you facing? The BAR exam is built on 3 major pillars, each designed to test a different facet of your strategic mind. The first and largest pillar is business analysis itself. This makes up nearly half the exam, and for good reason. This is the core of the modern CPA's value. It's about taking a company's financial statements and performance metrics and doing so much more than just checking them for accuracy. You're performing a financial autopsy, a health checkup, and a future-gazing prophecy all at once. You'll be calculating and, more importantly, interpreting financial ratios. You won't just be asked to find the debt-to-equity ratio. You'll be asked what it means. Is the company over-leveraged? Are they taking on smart debt to fuel growth? Or are they one bad quarter away from disaster? You'll dive deep into forecasting, planning, and budgeting. Imagine you're handed the financials for a fast-growing tech startup. You'll need to project their revenue for the next 3 years, budget for their R&D and marketing expenses, and create a model that shows them when they'll achieve profitability. This isn't about plugging numbers into a spreadsheet. It's about understanding the assumptions behind the numbers. What's the market size? Who are the competitors? What economic headwinds are they facing? You are essentially building the company's financial roadmap, and you'll be tested on risk management. You'll need to identify the financial, operational, and economic risks a company faces and recommend strategies to mitigate them. This is where you become the company's guardian, the one who sees the storm clouds gathering before anyone else even feels a drop of rain. The second pillar is technical accounting and reporting. Now, this might sound a lot like FAR, and there is overlap, but the focus here is profoundly different. FAR was about learning the rules. BAR is about applying the most complex and nuanced of those rules to the messiest, most intricate business situations you can imagine. We're talking about the deep end of the accounting pool. Think about business combinations. When one massive corporation buys another, like Amazon buying Whole Foods, the accounting is a labyrinth. You have to value every single asset, from the brand name and customer lists, which are intangible, to every store and distribution center. You have to account for goodwill. It's a massive, high-stakes puzzle, and BAR expects you to be a master puzzle solver. You'll tackle derivatives and hedge accounting. These are complex financial instruments that companies use to manage risk, but they are notoriously difficult to account for. You need to understand not just how to record them, but the underlying economic strategy behind using them. You'll also face the complexities of lease accounting and revenue recognition for incredibly complicated, long-term contracts. And you'll dive into the world of employee benefit plans, like pensions and stock compensation. This isn't just about debits and credits. It's about understanding a company's long-term promises to its people and ensuring the financial reality matches the promise. This section is designed to see if you can handle the kind of accounting issues that keep CFOs up at night. The third and final pillar is state and local government accounting. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Government accounting? Sounds dry. But let me reframe that for you. This is the accounting of accountability. This is about how your tax dollars are spent. It's about ensuring a city has the funds to pay its teachers, that a state can maintain its infrastructure, that public services are delivered efficiently and transparently. The stakes couldn't be higher. You'll need to understand the unique world of fund accounting, where the goal isn't profit, but stewardship of public resources. You'll learn how a government's financial statements differ from a corporation's, and why that difference is crucial for public trust. This part of the exam ensures that as a CPA, you have the versatility to provide assurance and guidance not just to the private sector, but to the public sector that forms the bedrock of our society. But understanding what is on the exam is only half the battle. The real secret to conquering BAR is understanding how you'll be tested. This exam is ruthlessly focused on higher-order skills. Memorization will get you nowhere. You need to analyze, evaluate, and create. A significant portion of your score will come from task-based simulations, or TBS. These are not multiple-choice questions. They are mini case studies. You might be presented with a set of financial statements, an email from a concerned CEO, a memo from the controller, and a recent news article about the company's industry. Your task? To synthesize all of that information and solve a problem. You might have to draft a memo recommending a course of action, prepare a financial forecast in a spreadsheet, or identify the financial reporting risks in a proposed transaction. These simulations are designed to mimic the real work of a CPA. They test your ability to think critically under pressure, to find the relevant information in a sea of data, and to communicate your conclusions clearly and professionally. This is why the BAR discipline is so powerful. It's the ultimate bridge between the classroom and the boardroom. The skills you master here, analyzing complex data, modeling future outcomes, assessing risk, and communicating strategic advice, are the very skills that define the most successful and influential finance professionals in the world. Passing BAR isn't just about adding a line to your resume. It's about fundamentally changing the way you think. It's about learning to see a business not as a collection of accounts and ledgers, but as a living, breathing entity with a past, a present, and a future that you can help shape. You learn that a balance sheet isn't just a list of assets and liabilities. It's the company's DNA. The income statement isn't just a record of profit and loss. It's the story of a single chapter in the company's life. And the cash flow statement, well, that's its heartbeat. BAR teaches you to be the doctor who can read all these vital signs and diagnose the health of the entire organism. This is the path of the strategist, the analyst, the advisor. It's a discipline for those who want to be at the center of the action, who want their analysis to drive billion-dollar decisions, and who want to earn that coveted seat at the table where the future is decided. But what if your passion isn't in corporate strategy? What if you're fascinated by the intricate, ever-changing world of tax law? Or what if you see the future of accounting not in boardrooms, but in the servers and systems that power the digital economy? BAR is a powerful choice, but it is just one of three. It represents one pinnacle of the profession. There are two others, each demanding a unique kind of genius. You've now seen the path of the business strategist. Next, we explore the path of the digital sentinel and the master of the code. The choice you make here will define your career, and the skills you gain will define your future. Let's first walk the path of the digital sentinel, the CPA who stands guard at the intersection of finance and technology. In a world where a company's most valuable assets are no longer stored in a vault, but as ones and zeros on a server, a new kind of guardian is required. This isn't the accountant of the past, hunched over a leather-bound ledger. This is an accountant who understands firewalls as well as financial statements, who can audit an algorithm as proficiently as they can audit an accounts receivable ledger. This is the information technology auditor. Imagine a massive global corporation. It processes millions of transactions every single day. Customer data, payment information, proprietary trade secrets, all flowing through a complex web of interconnected systems. The risk isn't just a misplaced decimal point anymore. The risk is a sophisticated cyber attack from a foreign entity, a critical system failure during peak business hours, or a subtle flaw in the code that miscalculates revenue by a fraction of a percent, a fraction that multiplies into millions of dollars over time. Who makes sure the digital fortress is secure? Who tests the walls, checks the locks, and ensures the guards are at their posts? That is the IT auditor. They are the specialists who bridge the gap between the chief financial officer and the chief information officer. They speak both languages fluently. They can read a balance sheet and they can read Python script. Their job is to provide assurance not just that the numbers are right, but that the systems producing the numbers are reliable, secure, and accurate. So what does this look like in practice? You might spend 1 week leading a team to perform a system and organization controls report, or a SOC report. This is where you go into a cloud service provider like a company that processes payroll for thousands of other businesses, and you audit their internal controls. You're testing everything from their data encryption protocols to their employee background check procedures. The final report you issue becomes a seal of approval that their clients, the thousands of other businesses, rely on to trust them with their sensitive data. You become a pillar of trust in the digital economy. The next week, you could be conducting a cybersecurity risk assessment for a major bank, simulating potential attack vectors and identifying vulnerabilities before malicious actors can exploit them. You're not just an accountant. You're a white hat hacker with a CPA license. You think like the enemy to protect the innocent. You're not just looking for fraud that has happened. You're preventing the catastrophic frauds of the future. This path is for a specific type of person. It's for the problem solver who sees a complex system not as an intimidating mess, but as a fascinating puzzle to be taken apart and understood. It's for the person who is always interested in technology, who loves learning about the next big thing, whether it's blockchain, artificial intelligence, or cloud computing. You have to be endlessly curious because the technology you audited last year might be obsolete next year. Your learning never ever stops. You are in a constant state of evolution. The demand for this skill set is exploding. Companies are desperate for professionals who can navigate this complex digital landscape, and they are willing to pay a premium for it. This is one of the fastest growing and most lucrative fields in the entire accounting profession. If you want a career on the cutting edge, a career that feels more like Silicon Valley than Wall Street, the path of the digital sentinel may be your calling. Now let's shift our focus from the private sector's digital frontier to the bedrock of our society, the public sector. Here, another kind of specialist operates, a master of a different but equally complex code. This isn't the code of a computer program, but the intricate code of laws, regulations, and principles that govern the use of public money. This is the governmental accountant. Think about the money you pay in taxes. It doesn't just go into one giant pot for the government to spend as it pleases. That money is meticulously divided, earmarked, and restricted. Some is for building roads, some for funding schools, some for public safety, some for parks. Each of these streams of money is a separate entity, a fund, with its own strict set of rules about how it can be collected and how it can be spent. The complexity is staggering. This is the world of fund accounting, and it is fundamentally different from the for-profit accounting that drives the corporate world. In corporate accounting, the goal is profit. The bottom line is the net income. In governmental accounting, the goal is accountability. The bottom line is stewardship. Did the government use the public's resources in the way it was legally required to? Was the money spent efficiently, effectively, and for the public good? The governmental CPA is the one who answers these questions. They are the master of this complex code, the guardian of the public trust. Your career could be as an auditor for the Government Accountability Office, the GAO, the supreme audit institution of the entire federal government. You might find yourself investigating the budget for a new fighter jet program for the Department of Defense, ensuring that taxpayer dollars are not being wasted. Your findings could be reported on the nightly news and debated on the floor of Congress. The stakes are immense, and your work has a direct impact on the nation. Or you could work for a state or a city. You might be the finance director for your hometown, crafting the annual budget that determines how many police officers are on the street, how well your local parks are maintained, and the quality of your child's school. You're not just crunching numbers. You are shaping the community you live in. You are a public servant in the truest sense of the word. You're ensuring that the promises made to citizens are kept, at least from a financial perspective. This path is for the individual who is driven by a sense of duty and public service. It's for the person who finds deep satisfaction in order, compliance, and making sure things are done the right way. While a corporate accountant helps a company maximize shareholder wealth, a governmental accountant ensures the well-being of the citizenry. The work is stable, secure, and offers an incredible work-life balance that is often difficult to find in the high-pressure world of public accounting. Governments don't go out of business, and the need for skilled financial professionals to manage public funds is constant and unwavering. The reward isn't a massive year-end bonus tied to company profits. The reward is seeing a new library open that you helped budget for. It's knowing that the pension fund for firefighters and teachers is solvent and secure because of your diligent oversight. It's the profound sense of purpose that comes from using your unique skills to serve a cause greater than yourself. It is a career of immense impact and quiet integrity. So we have now illuminated 4 distinct paths. The tax strategist, a master of the tax code, turning complexity into opportunity. The business advisor, the financial storyteller and strategic partner, guiding companies to success. The digital sentinel, the guardian of the new digital economy, protecting assets made of data and code. And the master of the code, the public steward, ensuring accountability and trust in our government. Each path requires the same foundation of the CPA, but they lead to vastly different careers, demanding different skills, different mindsets, and different passions. One of these paths is likely calling to you more than the others. You might feel a pull towards the strategic chess of tax, the dynamic world of business advising, the cutting-edge challenge of technology, or the noble purpose of public service. The question is no longer just, what is a CPA? The question is now, what kind of CPA will you become? You've seen the destinations. You understand the roles these heroes play in our economy and our society. But knowing the destination is one thing. Charting the course to get there is another entirely. How do you choose? How do you weigh your natural talents against market demand? How do you balance salary potential with work-life balance and personal fulfillment? In our final part, we will bring it all together. We will move from the what to the how. We'll provide a practical framework to help you choose your specialization, lay out the very next steps you need to take on your journey, and we will reveal the one final crucial discipline that is the true capstone of the CPA certification, the one that ties all of these paths together. Your transformation is almost complete. The final chapter awaits. You have navigated the treacherous waters of financial accounting and reporting, conquered the complex fortress of auditing and attestation, and mastered the intricate legal labyrinth of taxation and regulation. You have chosen your discipline, whether it was the deep dive into information systems and controls, the strategic mind of tax compliance and planning, or the holistic view of business analysis and reporting. But for every single candidate, regardless of their chosen path, there is one final, unifying challenge. The true capstone of the CPA. This is business analysis and reporting, or BAR. Think of it this way. If the core exams taught you the grammar and vocabulary of business, BAR teaches you how to write the novel. It's the discipline that elevates you from a technician who understands the rules to a strategist who understands the story the numbers are telling. This is the C-suite perspective. It's where you stop just recording history and start shaping the future. BAR is designed to test your ability to see the entire chessboard, to analyze a company's financial health, assess its risks, and make strategic recommendations that drive value. It's less about what is the rule, and more about what does this mean and what should we do about it. Let's break down this final summit. First, you'll face the most complex and nuanced areas of technical accounting and reporting. This isn't just about debits and credits anymore. This is about business combinations, derivatives and hedge accounting, lease accounting, and revenue recognition under the most complex scenarios. It's about understanding not just how to account for these things, but why the rules exist and how they impact a company's financial statements and, more importantly, the decisions that investors and managers make based on those statements. You're being asked to be the ultimate authority, the person in the room who can explain the most esoteric accounting concepts in plain English and advise leadership on their strategic implications. Next, BAR takes you into the unique world of state and local government accounting. For many, this is a completely new frontier. The rules are different, the objectives are different, the entire philosophy is different. It's not about profit. It's about stewardship, accountability, and serving the public trust. Mastering this section proves your versatility. It demonstrates that you can apply your skills beyond the corporate world, that you understand the financial mechanics that underpin our cities, our schools, and our public institutions. It's a testament to the fact that a CPA's role is vital to every corner of our economy. But the true heart of BAR, the part that ties everything together, is financial risk management and planning. This is where you put on the hat of a chief financial officer. You'll be analyzing financial statements not for compliance, but for insight. You'll be calculating ratios, forecasting future performance, and evaluating capital budgets. You'll be asked to look at a set of data and identify the opportunities, the threats, the hidden weaknesses, and the untapped strengths of a business. Can the company afford to make this acquisition? Is this new product line financially viable? What are the biggest financial risks we face in the next 5 years, and how do we mitigate them? These are the questions that keep CEOs up at night, and BAR tests your ability to provide the answers. It is the ultimate test of your analytical and critical thinking skills. Passing BAR, your final exam, is a moment unlike any other. It's the culmination of hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of sacrifice. It's the late nights, the missed parties, the moments of doubt and frustration, all leading to one final click of the submit button. And when you walk out of that testing center for the last time, a profound sense of relief and accomplishment washes over you. But here is the critical truth that so many people miss. Passing the exam is not the end of the journey. It is the end of the beginning. You have proven you have the knowledge. Now, you must prove you have the wisdom to apply it. You must complete the 3 final trials to forge that knowledge into a license. The first trial is the trial of experience. This is arguably as important as the exam itself. Every state board requires you to work for a set period, typically 1 to 2 years, under the direct supervision of a licensed CPA. This is your apprenticeship. This is where the theory you learned in textbooks collides with the messy, unpredictable reality of the real world. You'll be on audit teams, prepare tax returns for actual clients, or work in the finance department of a major corporation. You will make mistakes. You will be challenged. You will be mentored. Your supervisor, the licensed CPA, will not just sign a piece of paper. They will attest to your competence, your professionalism, and your character. They are putting their own license and reputation on the line for you. This is where you learn the unwritten rules, the professional skepticism, the art of client communication. This is where you transform from a student who knows the answers into a professional who knows how to ask the right questions. The second trial is the trial of ethics. After passing the exam and gaining your experience, nearly every state requires you to pass a professional ethics exam. Do not underestimate this step. This is not just another multiple choice test. This is your formal induction into the moral and ethical code that underpins the entire profession. The CPA designation is built on a foundation of one single powerful concept: trust. The public, the markets, the government, they all trust that the letters CPA signify a professional of the highest integrity. This exam tests your understanding of that sacred responsibility. It will present you with complex ethical dilemmas where the right answer isn't always obvious. It forces you to think about independence, objectivity, and your duty to the public above all else. Passing this exam is like taking a solemn oath. It is your promise to uphold the standards of the profession, to act as a guardian of financial integrity, no matter the pressure or the temptation. And finally, you face the third trial, the trial of licensing. This is the final administrative step. You will gather your exam scores, your proof of education, your verified experience forms, and your ethics exam certificate. You will fill out the application to your state board, pay your fees, and submit the entire package. It can feel like simple paperwork, but it is so much more. This is the moment you formally petition to join the ranks of one of the most respected professions in the world. And then you wait. The days and weeks can feel like an eternity, and then it happens. An email arrives or a letter appears in the mail. You open it and you see the words, "Congratulations! The board has approved your application for licensure as a certified public accountant." In that moment, everything changes. Those 3 letters are now yours. You can add them to your name, your email signature, your business card. They are not just letters, they are a symbol. They are a testament to your resilience, your intelligence, and your integrity. They tell the world that you have been tested and found worthy. They are a key that unlocks doors you never even knew existed. Becoming a CPA is not the finish line. It is the starting line of a whole new race. It is the platform from which you will launch the rest of your career. With a CPA license, you are no longer just an accountant. You are a trusted advisor. You can become a partner in a public accounting firm, a CFO of a Fortune 500 company, an entrepreneur who builds their own empire, or even an FBI agent tracking down financial criminals. The license gives you credibility, flexibility, and opportunity. It is a passport to a world of endless possibilities. You started this journey with a goal. You faced a mountain that seemed impossibly high. You climbed through the core exams, chose your discipline, and conquered the final summit. You were forged in the fire of real-world experience and took an oath of ethical conduct. You have earned this. The path was laid out, the challenge was accepted, and your transformation is now complete. You are a certified public accountant. Now go and shape the world of business. Your real story is just beginning.